Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel, or if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Amy, and this week we are making spaghetti with a beautifully easy to make homemade sauce that definitely does not taste simple. We're also making Italian dressing for our fresh salad and a garlic cheese bread with the best loaded garlic butter ever made. So let's get cooking! We're starting with our Italian dressing, which comes together in just minutes. You can mix this in a bowl and then pour it into a jar or a bottle, but I am just mixing this right up in the jar. We start with a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, as well as a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. To this, we add 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, but if you don't have that or you don't want that, you can add 2 more tablespoons of the red wine vinegar. We need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is the juice of about half of a large lemon if you have fresh lemons. Unfortunately, I didn't have any fresh lemons at the moment, so I'm using what is in my pantry. Add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and these measurements don't actually have to be exact, just a rough tablespoon. We need a teaspoon of basil and a teaspoon of oregano to give the dressing that signature Italian dressing flavor, as well as 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Now the salt and the pepper are largely to taste, so if you want a little bit more or a little bit less of them, it'll all work out great. We want 3 cloves of garlic for this jar of dressing, but first I need to peel them, which can be a chore. But if you know the knife trick, it's really easy. Just take a knife, one with a good sized blade like a chef knife, lay it flat over the garlic clove and smack it. Use the heel of your hand and hit the knife hard enough to flatten the clove a little, which will break open the covering. After that, it'll just pop right off. If you don't want to use a knife though, you can also just smack the garlic clove with the flat side of a meat tenderizer and it'll do the same thing. I'm crushing all 3 cloves into the jar with my garlic press, but if you don't have a garlic press, you can also just mince up the garlic and toss it in the jar. An optional ingredient is to add some Parmesan cheese, about a teaspoon or so, or however much you want because it's cheese. To make this a zesty Italian dressing, I added a pinch of red pepper flakes. Now, just put on the lid and shake it all up until everything's combined. This will store in the fridge for about a week, maybe up to 2 at the most. And let me tell you, if you are a basil lover, this Italian dressing is definitely for you. But you could also play around with the flavors as well, like using an Italian seasoning mix instead of just basil and oregano, or using an immersion blender to make this more creamy and less like a vinaigrette. It can also be used as a marinade. This is incredibly tasty and very versatile. Next in line for our dinner is making this absolutely decadent loaded garlic butter for our garlic cheese bread. This also comes together in just a few minutes and makes the best garlic bread ever. We start with a stick of very softened butter. We don't want this butter to be melted, but I want it to be very soft so all the other ingredients will mix with it really easy. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of shredded or grated Parmesan cheese. Next, we add a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika and a pinch of salt. Next, we add a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, but I didn't actually have any. So, if we look up what's in Italian seasoning, it's normally parsley, oregano, basil, rosemary, thyme, and marjoram, and I had all of those. I just didn't have it already mixed together. So, I grabbed all of them and just added small pinches of each one into the butter. If you make this, and you totally should, this is amazing and I'll never make another garlic butter ever again, but if you do make it, just add the 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning instead of the craziness I had to do here. The last seasoning is black pepper, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon or just to taste. Now, stir all of it up really well to get all those herbs and spices incorporated with the butter, and this is looking really good. But this is garlic butter, and we still haven't added any garlic. So we want 3 cloves of garlic, and like the dressing, we're going to peel them. But for this butter, I want this garlic minced up. I'm not going to crush this through the press. Then we add the minced garlic and give this butter a really good stir because we don't want that garlic to stay in clumps. And that's done. This garlic butter is almost made for oven-baked garlic bread. The raw garlic in it can be a little powerful if you eat this uncooked, but when you make baked garlic bread with it, that garlic just melts right into the butter. It is bar none the best garlic butter I've ever had. It will stay good in the fridge for a couple of weeks or however long the Parmesan stays good, but I guarantee it won't last that long. All right, now we're on to the main event. Let's make some spaghetti sauce from scratch. It's way easier than it looks. It actually comes together faster than I thought. To start, we need to prep our onion and garlic because absolutely everything has garlic in it tonight. I used about 3/4 of a good sized onion, but you could tone that down if you don't want that much onion in the sauce. Or you could just use a small onion and use the whole thing. I started by dicing that up, and I left this at regular speed so you can see how I cut up this onion. I used the outer layer sort of like a handle to make it easier. As you can see, I am still learning when it comes to cutting up onions, but amazingly, this one did not make me cry. When I had enough onion, I minced up 3 small cloves of garlic, which is what I had left of the head of garlic that I've been using for everything else. And that is all the chopping for this recipe. While I did that, I was heating up a tablespoon of oil in a large pan until it was nice and hot and shimmery. We're going to add the onion to the pan, as well as a couple good pinches of salt and black pepper to taste. Cook these onions on medium heat for about 4 to 5 minutes or until they start to become translucent and you'll see the edges just starting to get a little brown. We don't need to caramelize these because that would take forever, but we're just sweating them a little so they get soft. Next, we'll add the garlic, and we're going to cook that garlic until it gets fragrant. This only takes at most like 30 seconds, and don't stop moving the garlic around or it could burn. When the garlic gets nice and fragrant, we want to add our ground beef. I'm using about a pound here, maybe a little more, but 1 pound should be perfect for this sauce. And it needs to be completely thawed before going into the pan. Break it apart into the size pieces you like and cook the beef until it's almost done. There may be some pink left, and that's fine, but the meat's going to finish cooking in the sauce. Stir this occasionally to keep it from sticking, but the fat that the beef renders should help to prevent that. When the meat is almost cooked, pour in a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce and 2 15-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. Next, add 2 to 3 teaspoons of tomato paste, and I'm using some that I had in my freezer. Stir everything up and simmer this with the lid on. Just make sure to leave a little vent for steam to escape. At this point, you'll want to turn the heat down to medium-low, or even low if you have a pretty hot stove, so the sauce can simmer away. I'm going to put a little break right here for a tip. I am making this from the basic ingredients, but you can make this even easier if you want to by using a jar of your favorite store-bought sauce. Just substitute the can of tomato sauce and 1 can of diced tomatoes for the store-bought jar, and only add the 2nd can of diced tomatoes if you want the sauce to have those tomato chunks in it. If not, just dump in the jar of the store-bought sauce instead of all 3 of the cans that I used. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. So after you've put the lid on the sauce, this is the point where we want to start our spaghetti. I added water to a pot and then turned that water into seawater to give the pasta an awesome flavor. While the sauce is simmering away and the pasta water is heating up, I'm going to prepare my garlic bread. And I started by preheating my oven to 400 Fahrenheit. And while I would have loved to make the bread from scratch as well, unfortunately, sometimes we just run out of time. But when that happens, I'm just going to do the best I can for my family with the time I have. So I bought this Italian bread loaf from the store so we could have some amazing garlic bread with our dinner. But I am going to find an amazing Italian bread to make, and when I find it, I will let you know and we will make it together. So I'm going to cut this up into nice thick slices because we just really love Texas toast style garlic bread. And now we're going to get our fabulous loaded garlic butter and slather that on this bread. You can go as light or as heavy as you want with that awesome butter. Next, move the bread to a parchment-lined baking sheet and then add some shredded mozzarella cheese on top of the butter. You can put as much or as little cheese as you like on this as well. I was kind of going for good coverage, but not complete insanity. At this point, our water is boiling, so now we drop in our pasta. If you have the standard 1-pound box, you'll want the whole thing. While we were doing all of that, our sauce has been happily simmering away. So now we want to remove the lid and give it a good stir, but be careful it doesn't splash because it's kind of like lava at this point. Now we're going to add the secret ingredient, which is red wine. About a 1/4 cup of it, and I'm using a Cabernet here. If you really don't like cooking with wine, you can skip it and the sauce will still be amazing. Next is oregano, and I measure with my heart, but I would recommend a good tablespoon or 2. Last is some sugar to counteract some of the acidity, but only add this if you added the wine. If you didn't add wine, then skip the sugar. Give this all a good stir, and we're going to leave this alone to simmer again, but this time with the lid off. Our oven is ready, so we're going to pop the garlic bread in to get nice and melty and toasty. And you'll just want to cook your pasta to the box instructions or to your preferred texture. So while I was making dinner, my husband was getting the salad together. Here he is snipping some fresh Swiss chard. If you would like to know about our hydroponic garden, I will happily do a video all about it. Just let me know in the comments if you'd like me to talk about that. And out comes the garlic bread after 5 to 7 minutes when the cheese is melted and browned and the bread is nice and toasty. And when the pasta is done, the sauce is done. This is such a chunky, flavorful sauce. Let's plate up some dinner. Just take a look at that sauce. It is so meaty, beautiful tomato chunks, so much flavor. We sprinkled some shredded parmesan on top because we've always been of the opinion that you just can't have too much cheese. Last is our side salad with our lovely homemade Italian dressing. All of this lettuce is from our hydroponic garden, and that dressing was amazing. So much more flavor than anything I've ever bought, and it only took about 5 minutes to make it. Thank you so much for watching my video this week. I really enjoyed making this meal, and it turned out absolutely amazing. That garlic bread is ridiculous. If you never make anything else from this video, you've got to make that garlic butter. It is so good. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my little channel. Episode 2 of Explorations Pizza will be up on Wednesday, so stay tuned. I hope you have a fabulous week this week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!